Lux presents Hollywood. Lever Brothers Company brings you the Lux Radio Theater, starring Judy Garland, Margaret O'Brien, and Tom Drake in Meet Me in St. Louis. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. William Keeley.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. To the student of history, popular songs can often be a guide to the customs and manners of their time. And the theme song of tonight's play, Meet Me in St. Louis, from the studios of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, is a clue to the great American vogue of 1904, the World's Fair in Missouri. 10 million people attended it, but twice as many people in our listening audience will be going there tonight with three of Hollywood's most charming stars. The ever-popular Judy Garland, lovable Margaret O'Brien, and talented Tom Drake. They take you back to an era of nostalgic charm and a warm and haunting story of romance. And in that same nostalgic spirit comes a letter from a young girl who was married last September in a family heirloom dress of Maltese lace. The lace, she says, was very delicate and 97 years old. Yet when we washed it with Lux Flakes, it came out perfectly preserved in color, daintiness, and texture. We were astonished that a lace so old and delicate could be so beautifully restored. To Mrs. F.A. Gunderson, the bride, our heartiest thanks, and our sincere best wishes for a happy future with Lux Flakes. On to Act One of Meet Me in St. Louis, starring Judy Garland as Esther, Margaret O'Brien as Tootie, and Tom Drake as John. In the year 1903, there lived in the city of St. Louis a family named Smith. There were Mr. and Mrs. Alonzo Smith and Grandpa Smith. There were also two daughters and a son, Rose, Esther, and Lonnie. Oh, yes, and another daughter, Tootie, aged 8, who at this moment perches next to Mr. Costello on Mr. Costello's ice wagon.
My goodness, Tootie, at 5 o'clock. Giddy up, Beatrice. Oh, how's your doll feeling now, Judy? Any better?
Oh, no. Poor Margaretha. I've never seen her look so pale.
Probably the heat. Been an awful hot day.
I doubt very much whether Margaretha will live through the night. She has 4 fatal diseases.
As a rule, only takes one.
She's going to have a beautiful funeral. And a cigar box my papa gave me, all wrapped up in silver paper.
That's the way to go. You got to go.
Oh, she's got to go. How's Beatrice feeling?
Oh, Beatrice don't mind the heat. Why, she's the strongest horse in St. Louis.
Excuse me, Mr. Costello, but it's pronounced St. Louis.
That's funny. Now take that their new song. Meet me in St. Louis, Louis, meet me.
Oh, well, that's different. We sing that song all the time in our house. My sister Esther and my sister Rose and Grandpa and everybody.
Well, St. Louis, it's still a grand old town.
It's not a town, Mr. Costello. It's a city. And it's the only city that's going to have a World's Fair. Gosh, wasn't I lucky to be born in my favorite city?
You sure were, honey. So was I, and so was Beatrice. Is that right, Beatrice? Come on, gal.
Meet me in St. Louis, Louis, meet me at the fair. Don't tell me the lights are shining any place but there. We will dance the hoochie coochie. You will be my tootsie wootsie if you will meet me in St. Louis, Louis, meet me at the fair. Come on, Rose, and sing. Meet me in St. Louis, Louis, meet me at the fair. Don't tell me the lights are shining any place. Oh, hello, Papa. Did you just come home, Papa?
The fair won't open for months, but that's all everybody talks about or sings about. I wish everybody would meet me at the fair and leave me alone. Where's Mama?
Here I am, dear. Well, did you have a nice day, Alonzo?
I had a terrible day, Anna. I lost the case.
Oh, dear. Well, Papa, if losing a case depresses you so, why don't you give up law and go into some other business?
All right, I will.
Beginning tomorrow, I intend to play first base for the Baltimore Orioles.
Now, dear, you'll feel lots better as soon as you've had your dinner.
Right now, I'm going to soak in a cool bath for 1 solid hour.
Oh, but that's impossible. Katie's serving dinner in 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Alonzo, we planned on eating an hour earlier tonight.
The plans have just been changed. I'm taking a bath.
Oh, Rose, dear, I'm so sorry.
But I've told you, it's nothing to upset the entire household about.
Warren Sheffield, a Yale man, is going to telephone you at 6:30 long distance. And you say it's nothing to upset the household about.
Oh, I wish everyone would just forget about it.
Rose, you know as well as I do that the telephone is in the dining room, and you certainly don't want the whole family sitting there drinking in every word when a man proposes long distance.
I don't see why you assume that Warren is going to propose to me.
He's calling from New York. Do you know what that costs?
I think that's just about enough of this. Now, where's Tootie?
Delivering ice with Mr. Costello. No, she came back a few minutes ago. She's in the backyard burying her doll.
Well, call her in and see that she gets washed. And Lonnie! Now, don't worry, Rose, dear. I'm sure everything will work.
6:30 and Papa isn't down yet.
He will, dear, any second. Tootie, Grandpa! Lonnie, come on in, dinner.
Has he telephoned yet, Rose?
Grandpa, I'm not in the least concerned whether Mr. Sheffield calls or not.
The Queen has spoken.
I suppose Warren's too young, huh? Every fellow I introduce her to is too young.
Now, listen, please. Your father will be right down. And if we eat dinner quickly, we may be finished by the time...
What's happening?
Now I remember why I left my other roller skate on the staircase.
I hope I haven't held you up. I was just taking a little ride before dinner. Tootie, is this your roller skate?
Yes, Papa. Thank you.
You're welcome. And remind me to spank you after dinner.
Yes, Papa.
Lord, we thank thee for the bountiful blessings which we are about to receive. Amen. Ah, soup.
Don't blame me if it's cold, Mr. Smith. So's the corned beef.
Ah, Katie. No, it's fine, delicious. Well, what's the matter with everybody? Eat your soup.
I'll get it.
Oh, Rose, let me get it.
Telephone.
What are you all jumping for? Sit still.
Oh,
I'll answer it.
I'll simply die.
Hello. What? New York? No, I'm not calling New York. What? Hello? Hello? Anna, I'm going to have that instrument of torture ripped out of this house.
Lonzo, every telephone call is not for you, dear.
That one wasn't. New York.
Rose is crying.
Well, what's the matter with you?
Oh, it's nothing, Papa. It's just that you've ruined Rose's chances to get married, that's all.
What did you say?
That was Warren Sheffield calling long distance to propose.
Oh, I see. Tootie, did you know there was a long-distance call coming to this house?
You know what, Papa? The Iceman saw a drunkard get shot yesterday, and the blood spurted out 3 feet.
Answer yes or no.
Yes.
Lon, you knew about it?
Yes, sir.
Grandpa? Anna? Well, Anna, I'm curious. Just when was I voted out of this family?
Oh, Alonzo, really now.
My eldest daughter is practically on her honeymoon, and everybody in St. Louis knows about it but me. Well, from now on, I'll handle all telephone calls that come to this house.
But, Papa!
Nobody answers the phone but me.
But I.
Thank you. Rose, answer the telephone.
Thank you, Papa. Hello? Yes. Well, we'll put him on. Warren? Well, hello, Warren. How are you?
Hello, Rose. I'm fine, Rose. How's St. Louis?
Oh, what did you say?
I said, how's St. Louis?
Oh, it's fine. Fine.
Is it hot there?
Yes, it's very hot.
Oh, for goodness sake.
What?
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you fine.
Well,
What did you say, Warren?
nothing. I was waiting for you to say something.
Oh,
I can't hear you, Rose.
that's funny. I can hear you plainly.
Rose, I hope you won't misunderstand what I'm going to tell you.
Yes?
Well, I don't think you should mention this call to your family.
Why not?
Well, because there'd be H to pay if my family ever found out I called you long distance.
He said there'd be 8.
My family's here, and they don't think anything of it. Well, I'd better not waste any more of your time or money.
Rose, I've still got 35 seconds.
I have an engagement. I think I can hear Joe's voice now.
Oh, hello, Joe. Come on in.
I'll sit down and write to you as soon as I hang up.
Well, that'll be very nice. Goodbye, Warren.
Well, that's the darndest proposal I ever heard.
I
don't know what to do.
Well, I'll bet there isn't another girl in St. Louis who's had a Yale man call her long distance just to inquire about her health.
If you don't mind, I'd like to be excused.
Rose, now, honey,
Now,
you...
let her alone, Alonzo. Esther, dear, sit down.
Yes, Mama.
A Yale man, eh, Lonnie?
Yes, Papa.
That settles it. You're going to Princeton.
it's nice just sitting on the front porch, isn't it, Rose?
I just love a summer night. Esther, wasn't that silly of me running away from the dinner table?
Oh, Rose, I wish I had your savoir-faire.
Esther, look. Next door, our new neighbor.
John Truitt?
Yes, on the lawn. Now, be perfectly calm. We can talk a little louder, but for goodness sakes, don't let on that we see him. Ready?
Yes. Let's get a little closer to the railing.
Isn't it a gorgeous night, Esther, dear?
Oh, heavenly, Rose. Just heavenly. He smokes a pipe.
I understand they're having a fashion pavilion at the fair. Isn't that exciting?
I shan't be at all surprised if Joe insists on taking me to the fair every single night. Joe's so overpowering.
Oh,
huh?
Well, look, he just turned around and walked back into his house.
Oh. Not very neighborly, I must say.
Well, he's only lived here 2 weeks. You can't expect him to fling himself at you.
So how am I going to meet him?
I know. I'll get George Briggs to bring him over here to Lon's going-away party.
Oh, Rose, could you?
Of course. Let me get some stationery. We can write the invitations right now.
He didn't even notice me. What if he can't come to our party? What if he's got a girl? The moment I saw him smile, I knew he was just my style. My only regret is we've never met, though I dream of him all the while. But he doesn't know I exist. No matter how I may persist, so it's clear to see there's no hope for me, though I live at 5135 Kensington Avenue, and he lives at 5133. How can I ignore the boy next door? I love him more than I can say. Doesn't try to please me, doesn't even tease me, and he never sees me glance his way. And though I'm heart-sore, the boy next door affection for me won't display. I just adore him, so I can't ignore him. The boy next door.
My dear Mr. Truitt, you are cordially invited to a party on Saturday next in honor of our brother, Alonzo Smith, Jr., who is leaving for Princeton. Hoping you will honor us, I am cordially yours, Rose Smith.
How's that, Es? Well, it's pretty formal, but I guess we better be pretty formal to start with.
John Truitt, he just came in. Well, come on downstairs.
What did he say?
Nothing concrete, but his voice is wonderful.
Rose, I've decided something.
What?
I'm going to let John Truitt kiss me tonight.
Esther Alicia Smith.
Well, if we're going to get married, I might as well start it.
Nice girls don't let men kiss them until after they're engaged. Men don't want the bloom rubbed off.
Personally, I think I have too much bloom.
Oh?
Maybe that's the trouble with me.
I think Princeton's all right, John, huh?
Oh, Princeton's a peach of a school. A peach of a school.
Well, that's where I'm going. Oh, Esther.
Yes, Alonzo.
May I present our neighbor, John Truitt?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch the name.
John Truitt.
Oh, well, welcome to our house, Mr. Truitt.
Well, thank you. You know, this is the first party I've been invited to since we moved to St. Louis.
Oh, do you live here?
Well, of course he lives here, right next door.
Oh, well, that's where I've seen you. I thought you looked familiar.
If this dance isn't taken, Miss Smith, I'd be very honored.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but... Oh, well, since you're our next-door neighbor.
Thank you.
Now, what in the heck's got into her?
If anyone would like some fruit punches, they're in the dining room.
Oh, Miss Esther,
Yes, Mr. Pruitt.
there's a mouse in the house. Look, on the hall stairs.
Why, Tootie, why aren't you asleep?
There was too much noise down here.
Noise? Well, we've been dancing and singing.
I want to sing, too.
Well, all right. Come on, just one song. You know, Tootie sings really quite well for a child. What would you like to sing, dear? Baby's Boat or Silver Moon?
Oh, I hate those songs. I want to sing a new one. I was last night, dear mother.
Well, you can't sing that. Oh, do let her. She's such a sweet little thing.
Sweet, she's a hoodlum.
Well, all right, Tootie, go ahead.
I was drunk last night, dear mother. I was drunk the night before. But if you'll forgive me, mother, I'll never get drunk anymore.
Oh, you're a very bad little girl. It's really Lon's fault, Mr. Pruitt. He teaches her those things. Now, Tootie, you scoot right up to bed this instant. Rose, oh, Rose, dear, might we have some dance music, please? Good night, everybody.
It looks like I'm the last one leaving. Well, good night, Miss Esther.
Good night.
What, Mr. Pruitt? Coming up, Ed? Don't forget your beauty, please.
Presently, Rose, dear.
Well, I guess I'd better get going.
Well, we'll be seeing some more of you, won't we?
Oh, you bet.
You'll be joining the crowd Friday. We're all taking the trolley out to the fairgrounds. We want to see what progress they're making.
Oh, sure. Well, good night.
Good night.
Oh, that Welch rabbit was Ginger Peachy.
Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, and Mr. Truitt.
Yes, Miss Esther?
This is an untoward request, but would you mind accompanying me through the house while I turn out the lights?
Well,
It's just that I'm afraid of mice.
Oh, sure. That's the least a man can do for his charming hostess.
Just relax in the hall, and then we'll be finished. Oh, if you can't see, just take my hand, Mr. Truitt.
Well, thanks.
This way.
Say, that's nice perfume.
Do you like it? It's essence of violet.
Exactly the kind my grandmother uses.
No, this is different. Well, here's the hall.
Hadn't we better leave those lights for your folks?
I'll just turn them down dim. There. My, it's certainly dark in here with the lights off.
Gosh, Miss Esther, I hope I'm not too presumptuous, but you don't need any beauty sleep.
Oh, what a nice thing to say.
How does it go?
How does what go?
That song, you know, you remind me of it. The way you are now, leaning over the banister. Over the banister leans a face, tenderly sweet and beguiling, while below her with tender grace he watches the picture, smiling. A light burns dim in the hall below. Nobody sees them standing, saying good night again, soft and low. Halfway up to the landing, nobody, only those eyes of brown, tender and full of meaning, gaze on the loveliest face in town. Over the banister leaning. Gosh, that was beautiful, Miss Esther.
You can drop the miss.
This has been a great evening. I'll never forget it.
Do you mean that?
Yes, I do.
Do you always shake hands with a girl when you say goodnight?
Oh, no, sir. Only when I think an awful lot of her.
Oh.
And you know something else, Esther?
What?
You've got a mighty strong grip for a girl. Well, good night, Esther.
Good night, neighbor.
Our stars, Judy Garland, Margaret O'Brien, and Tom Drake, will return for Act Two of Meet Me in St. Louis in a moment. Say, Libby, one of the boys in our audience wants to know whether his girl will like him better if he becomes a dancer like Fred Astaire or a famous crooner like Bing Crosby.
Well, why not tell him to see Paramount's new picture, Blue Skies? They're both in that, and they both love the same girl, Joan Caulfield. Frankly, if I'd been Joan in that picture, I never could have made up my mind.
Those wonderful sentimental tunes Bing sings should sweep any girl off her feet.
Mm-hmm, just like an Astaire dance.
Isn't this Fred's farewell to pictures?
Well, that's what he insists. And that's why moviegoers all over this country are signing petitions asking him to remain in pictures. He's never been better, or his dances more original.
Being Astaire's partner is a real honor.
Well, he has two in Blue Skies. Joan Caulfield and a little Latin from Manhattan, Olga San Juan. Olga's a brunette, and Joan's as fair as an angel. And both are divine in Technicolor.
I bet I know another thing they had in common.
What's that?
Lux Care for their stockings.
You're absolutely right. Anybody who dances knows how much strain stockings get. So naturally, the girls counted on Lux Flakes to cut down runs.
Not only girls who dance, Libby, but girls everywhere know how much longer Lux stockings last.
And so do Paramount Studios. Stockings for the chorus got the same Lux Care as those of the stars. But, of course, well, Joan knew about Lux long before she went to Hollywood.
Wasn't she a model in New York?
That's right. And models soon learn tricks of the trade, like getting more wear from stockings by luxing them every night.
Well, actual strain tests proved how right they are. In these tests, stockings rubbed with cake soap went into runs very quickly. The luxed ones lasted and lasted. Twice as long, in fact.
Girls on a budget appreciate that. And there's another good thing about Lux. A little goes a long way.
Right, Libby. Now, a suggestion to the ladies in our audience. Because Lux is made of scarce materials, please don't waste it. Here's your producer, William Keeley.
We continue with the second act of Meet Me in St. Louis, starring Judy Garland as Esther, Margaret O'Brien as Tootie, and Tom Drake as John. Well, Friday's come, and with it, the trolley ride to the fairgrounds. Now take a trolley, fill it with boys and girls, and sooner or later, somebody's singing. In this instance, it's Miss Esther Smith, who finds ample reason to sing, for sitting next to her, thoroughly smitten, is the boy next door, John Truitt.
With my high starch collar and my high top shoes and my hair piled high upon my head, I went to lose a jolly hour on the trolley and lost my heart instead. With his light brown derby and his bright green tie, he was quite the handsomest of men. I started to yell, so I counted to 10, then I counted to 10 again. Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings. From the moment I saw him, I fell. Chug, chug, chug went the motor. Bump, bump, bump went the brake. Thump, thump, thump went my heartstrings. When he smiled, I could feel a car shake. He tipped his hat and took a seat. He said he hoped he'd help me step upon my feet. He asked my name, I held my breath. I couldn't speak because he scared me half to death. Buzz, buzz, buzz went the buzzer. Plop, plop, plop went the wheels. Stop, stop, stop went my heartstrings. As he started to go, then I started to know how it feels when the universe reels. The day was bright, the air was sweet. The smell of honeysuckle charmed her off her feet. She tried to sing, but couldn't speak. In fact, she loved her so she couldn't even speak. Buzz, buzz, buzz went the buzzer. Plop, plop, plop went the wheels. Stop, As he started to leave, I took hold of his sleeve with my hand. As if it were planned, he stayed on with me, and it was grand just to stand with his hand holding mine to the end of the line.
It's a few weeks later now, Halloween. And at the Smith home, disguised in sagging pants, a long red nose, and bristling mustaches, Miss Tootie Smith is about to brave the thrills and terrors of this ghost-ridden night.
Wait till you see what I do to Mr. Brookoff. Do you know what Mr. Brookoff does, Esther?
Minds his own business as far as I know.
He buys meat and poison. Then he puts it all together and kills cats. Thousands of cats. And when he's not killing cats, he beats his wife with a red-hot poker.
My goodness.
Glennie Travis told me.
You going out with Glennie and the rest of those magamuffins?
They're all down at the corner. They got a big red bonfire. That's so the banishes will know where to come. And I'm going to go and...
Oh, dear.
Oh, don't be afraid, Mommy. It's only me.
Oh, why, I thought some horrible ghost had come into our house.
Oh, I'm horrible, all right. I was murdered last week in a den of thieves.
Well, here it is, Tootie. Here's your flower.
Thank you, Grandpa.
You wouldn't catch me out on a night like this for $1 million.
Well, why not?
Too many terrible spirits roaming around.
Grandpa.
Oh, go on, Tootie. It's Halloween.
I just hope I get back to my bed and grow it all right.
If you wet the flower before you throw it, it's harder for the victim to get it off.
Well, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. All right, everybody. I guess we're all ready to go. Oh, Mrs. Wilkins said she'd leave her hammock on the front porch. And would the children please bring it back after they're through stealing it?
Maybe we will and maybe we won't. Anyway, you ain't coming.
Well, why not?
'Cause you're too little.
Judy. Hey, so who's going to take the Brookoff's house?
Not me. It's too scary there. Even for Halloween. Mr. Brockoff's got a great big beard.
A great big bulldog. And he poisons cats and beats his back to the...
Tootie, why don't you go home? Somebody's got to take the Brockoffs.
I'll take him. I'll take the Brockoffs.
Oh, boy, that I let Tootie take him.
Oh, Tootie, go on home till you grow up. I won't go home. I'm going to take the Brockoffs. I'll torture him good and pull their roof down.
Well, you got some flour?
Yes.
Just remember, if you don't hit Mr. Brockoff in the face with a flower and say I hate you, the banshees will haunt you forever.
They will?
Well, what did you think?
Well, here I go.
Come back when your mission is over. We'll be meeting here around the
fire. Oh, Lord, I wish Esther was here. I can't do it. I can't. I'm too scared.
Well, what do you want? Don't try to run away.
Yes, sir.
Did you ring my bell, ghost?
Yes, sir.
Well, go on. Throw the flower on me.
All right.
Some more. On my beard.
Yes, sir.
Now say it. Say it.
I hate you, Mr. Brockoff.
That's fine, Tootie. Good night, dear.
I'm the most horrible. I'm the most horrible of everybody.
That's you, Tootie. I'm coming.
Well, did you have enough?
For Glennie. Esther, you better come quick. Something's happening to Tootie.
What are you talking about?
Down by the trolley. She got hurt, Esther. She's bleeding like anything.
Oh!
Esther, did you get Pop on the telephone?
No, Mama. They said he just left.
It's Tootie's lip, Mama. It's all cut. Oh, good heavens.
And a tooth knocked out.
Katie, another compress. There, darling, there. Everything's going to be fine.
He tried to kill me.
Tootie! She must be in the streetcar. I think it hit her.
It wasn't the streetcar. It was John Truitt.
John Truitt?
He was going to kill me. That's how I got hurt. But when I screamed, he ran away.
Tootie Smith, that's a monstrous falsehood.
Wait a minute. Tootie, honey, what's that in your hand? Come on, let Grandpa see.
Why, it's some strands of hair.
Yes, and I don't think it's Tootie's.
I pulled it out of his head. He tried to kill me.
Brown hair.
John Truitt has brown hair.
Oh, hello, Esther. Come in.
John Truitt?
Yes? Hey, now, wait a minute.
I've come here to ask you something.
Hey, wait a minute.
Really? What do you mean by hitting a little 7-year-old child?
Esther, cut it out.
Well, next time you want to pick on somebody your own size.
Esther.
If there's anything I hate and loathe, despise, and abominate, it's a bully.
I want to sleep in Esther's bed, Mama.
Of course you may, darling. Oh, I hate to think what your father's going to say when he hears about this. He may even strike that Truitt boy.
He won't have to, Mama. I just took care of him.
I was drunk last night, dear Mother. I was drunk the night before.
Esther, your dress, it's torn. It must have happened when I was trying to hold him off. I bit him.
I bit him, too.
Did you, Tootie? That's not what Tommy Berkheimer says. I've just been talking to him.
Did the trolley go off the tracks, Grandpa?
No, but the cable came off and the motorman put on the brakes too fast. At least that's what Tommy tells me.
What are you talking about?
It seems the kids had found an old suit of clothes, so they stuffed it with straw, and somebody put it on the trolley tracks.
We thought the car'd go off the tracks.
Judy Smith, why, you're nothing less than a murderess. You might have killed dozens of people.
Oh, Rose, you're so stuck up.
Tootie, how did you get that lip? How?
Because John Truitt butted in. He dragged me up an alley so the policeman wouldn't get me. Huh. As though policemen never pay attention to girls. But I pulled his hair and got away. Then I fell down and cut my lip.
Oh, what I'm going to do to you.
Yes, let her alone.
Well, what's so funny, Rose? I don't see anything so funny. Judy, really, you're the most deceitful, sinful little creature I've ever seen. And for two cents... Merciful heavens. John.
Oh, no, Esther, not again, please.
John, there's been a terrible mistake.
There has?
Oh, yes, you see, Did I do that?
Black eye, and this, and this, and this.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, that's all right. How's Tootie?
Oh, she'll live. John, it's awfully nice of you to accept my apology.
Well, if you're not busy tomorrow night, could you beat me up again?
Well, I guess I'd better be getting home.
Oh, before you go, would you mind helping me turn out the lights? I'm afraid of mice.
It looks like most of the lights are out.
Wouldn't take a minute to turn them on again.
Well, wouldn't that be kind of wasting a minute?
Yeah, I guess it would, Esther.
You know, you've got a mighty strong grip for a boy.
Again, Tootie, I'll give you something. Oh, Esther, dear, I hope you... Why, Esther, is there anything wrong with you?
Yes, Mama.
Roses are red and John's name is Truitt. Esther's in love and we always knew it.
Tootie and I just made it up.
Oh, Mama, can't you make Tootie and Grandpa stop?
We'd make one up for you, too, Rose, except we can't find anything to rhyme with Warren.
This where the Smith family lives?
Oh, Alonzo, I didn't hear you come in.
Help, Papa. I almost got killed. We stopped the trolley and I lost my tooth. And Esther bit John Truitt.
And Tootie fell, dear, and cut her lip. She's fine.
Oh, that's a brave little girl, Tootie. Oh, Anna, for you.
Why, Alonzo, what a lovely box of candy. Is anything wrong?
So you think I've been up to something? Well, I have. Anna, the firm is sending me to New York.
Well, that's lovely, dear. Just as long as you'll be home for Thanksgiving.
No, you don't understand. I'm to head the office there. We're moving to New York.
Moving? To New York?
I don't believe it. I simply don't believe it.
Why, Anna, I thought you'd be overjoyed.
Why, New York is a big city. Not that St. Louis isn't big, but... Well, what will the children do?
The same as they do here. Go to school, play, have their friends over.
What friends, Alonzo?
Yes, what friends?
The friends they'll meet in New York.
And Tootie just ready to be promoted. And Esther a senior.
I've worked all my life to be a senior.
And Rose in the Conservatory of Music. Yes, what about me in my life?
You can take that with you. Now, it's settled. We're going.
Well, I must say you're being very cold-blooded.
packing us off, lock, stock, and barrel.
I've got our future to think about. I've got to worry about where the money's coming from. With Lon in Princeton and Rose in music school.
Money. I hate, loathe, despise, and abominate money.
You also spend it.
And what about Katie and Grandpa and the chickens? Not that we have many left.
That's a minor detail we can discuss later.
So I'm a minor detail, am I?
You know very well, Papa, I was talking about the chickens.
Never mind what happens to your family, as long as the chickens are provided for.
No. I guess we're all a little excited. We'll talk this over calmly tomorrow. Well, what's this? Hickory nut cake, as only Kate can make it.
We had some Halloween ice cream, but it's all gone, Alonzo. I'm sorry.
I can't go to New York. I simply can't.
I'm taking my cat. Winona goes wherever I go.
Well, you keep her cooped up in a tenement.
Good evening, Katie.
Couldn't help overhearing.
Don't they have houses in New York?
Rich people have houses. People like us live in flats. Thousands of people in one building. And what about the World's Fair?
Yes, just when St. Louis is going to be the center of attraction of the entire universe.
Katie, this cake is as light as a feather.
You can bake anything in our stove. They got little box stoves in them tenements.
Pass your plates, everybody. Have some cake.
Thanks. I guess I got some things to do. Excuse me.
Oh, you're going up too, Grandpa. I guess I'll help Katie with the ice cream dishes.
Me too. As long as we're moving, it won't matter if I break something.
Well, aren't you afraid, Anna? Alone in this room with a criminal? That's what I'm being treated like.
Now, it's not as bad as that, dear. If you think it's best to move to New York, why, that's what we'll do. Eat your cake, Alonzo.
That's good to hear you play, Anna. My, that's a nice song. Remember when I used to sing it?
Through the years of dark and fair weather,
Papa, that's just lovely. Tootie and I guess we'll have some cake after all.
I want the piece with the rose petals.
Mighty nice song. Mighty nice. Rose and I, well, there's nothing like good music and a piece of hickory cake.
No, sir. You know, I'll bet New York is going to be just fine.
We pause now for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Act 3 of Meet Me in St. Louis, starring Judy Garland, Margaret O'Brien, and Tom Drake, will follow in a moment. Our guest tonight, blonde, blue-eyed Lola Dean, came to Hollywood from Akron, Ohio, by way of Chicago. When NGN saw the screen tests she made there, they lost no time getting her to the coast. I understand you're studying hard, Lola.
I am, Mr. Keeley, but I'm having fun, too.
Such as?
Oh, watching pictures being made and seeing as many previews at the studio as possible. That's where I saw the yearling.
Oh, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's new Technicolor picture.
Mm-hmm, which people are talking about for the Academy Award.
It's a superb example of fine acting and photography.
And how I envied Jane Wyman in her role opposite Gregory Peck.
Oh, a Gregory Peck fan, eh?
Who isn't? And Claude Jarman, Jr. is so appealing as Jody with his pet fawn.
Well, it's often the details that count in making a successful picture, Lola. For instance, the company spent months in Florida to make each sequence in the yearling true to life. Tell me, Lola, do you have any special rules for success?
Yes, Mr. Keeley, to profit by experience. And that's what I'm doing right now.
How's that, Lola?
Well, when I was working as a radio receptionist back east, I found that good grooming was important. So naturally, I used Lux Flakes. You see, I was on a budget, and I saved a lot by wearing blouses and sweaters I could Lux myself. They always looked wonderful.
Hollywood studios feel much the same way about Lux, Lola. They've discovered by actual experience how safe it is for colors, so they make it a rule to use Lux Flakes for everything washable.
Well, I wish I could find more Lux in the Hollywood stores.
It isn't always easy to get it in any city these days, Lola, because the materials they need to make Lux are scarce. But it's wise to keep on trying. Smart girls like yourself don't risk spoiling nice things with a strong soap, because they know washing things the wrong way can fade colors easily. Tests on all sorts of fabrics prove that. There's no doubt about it. Lux things do stay smart longer. Thank you for coming tonight, Lola. We return you now to William Keeley.
After the final curtain, you're invited to join us for a brief chat with tonight's stars. Here they are in the third act of Meet Me in St. Louis. Judy Garland as Esther, Margaret O'Brien as Tootie, and Tom Drake as John. It's the day before Christmas, a week before the Smith family moves to New York, and 5 hours before the annual Christmas ball at the Women's Club. And Alonzo Smith, Jr., home from Princeton for the holidays, has a problem.
Oh, Lonnie, you needn't be so grouchy just because Lucille Ballard doesn't think you're good enough to take her to the dance tonight.
A girl has a right to go to a dance with anyone she wants. I just didn't ask her soon enough.
Everyone knows Miss Ballard is just an Eastern snob.
And I'll thank you, Rose, to keep Miss Ballard's name out of this. You're in a fine mood yourself, all because Warren Sheffield asked her instead of you.
That's not true. Rose could have had any man she wanted.
Except Warren Sheffield.
Everyone knows that Lucille Ballard is just throwing herself at Warren because of his father's money.
Now, that's what I call real Christmas spirit. Lonnie, you and Rose have spent this whole vacation at each other's throats.
Now, just a minute, Katie.
Didn't it ever occur to you that you might take your sister to the dance?
What? My own brother? I'd be the laughing stock of St. Louis.
Well, thank you.
Katie's absolutely right. Oh, Lon, it's our last dance in St. Louis, and it'd be tragic if either of you missed it.
It's all right for you to talk. You have a date, a real one.
Rose, if I didn't have a date with John Truitt, which I have, I'd be thrilled to go with my own brother.
Well, I'd be willing, Rose. I'd be glad to.
You would?
Well, I was going to ask you anyway, but
Well, you two are going to have the best time of anybody. You won't even have to be polite to each other.
It's 7:30. Oh, Ash, you look grand, simply grand. That corset makes you figure just elegant.
I feel elegant, but I can't breathe.
You have to start one sometime. And if we're going to wreck Lucille Ballard's evening, we definitely need every ounce of allure.
Oh, Rose, don't you think I could be alluring without a corset?
No, Esther, I don't. After all, you're competing with an Eastern girl. You'll have to monopolize all the worthwhile men.
Well, there are only going to be about 20 boys worth looking at, and we can certainly handle 20 men.
But what about John Truitt?
Oh, I'll devote myself to John, but in between times I'm going to make my presence felt amongst the others. Oh, yes? Yes, what is it, Tootie?
Somebody at the back door to see you. Who? Gosh, do you look funny? Rose, could I please wear a corset, too?
Oh, Tootie. Who's at the back door?
Somebody that looks like John Truitt.
Oh, Rose, give me my kimono. I wonder what you could want.
What are you giving me for Christmas, Rose?
You'll find out tomorrow.
I certainly hope it's a hunting knife. Nothing I need worse than a good hunting knife.
Why, John. Well, come on in.
Yes. I've some bad news. My tuxedo.
What about it?
It's at the tailor's. You see, I was playing basketball, and when I got there, it was closed.
Well, can't you borrow that?
I've tried, but everybody who's got one is going to the ball.
Well, find the tailor and have him open the shop. What
Well-
about your father's?
Well, that was my father's.
Then find the tailor and make him open the shop.
Well, I know his name is Johnson, but I don't know where he lives.
Oh, well, this is simply ghastly.
Oh, yes, I wouldn't blame you if you never spoke to me again.
Oh, you didn't do it on purpose.
Well, I guess there's nothing else I can say. Unless you want to do something else tonight.
No, I'll just stay home and do some packing. You know, we're leaving St. Louis in a few days.
I know. And this is a fine going-away present I'm giving you. I'll bet you really hate me.
Oh, no, John, I don't hate you. I just hate basketball. Wish I were dead, that's all.
Oh, it's simply awful, Esther, but there's only one thing to do. Lon will have to take the both of us.
You don't think I'm going to the smartest ball of the season with my own brother, do you?
Well, I like that. You wanted me to go with you.
Oh, you didn't have a date.
But I can't handle 20 men alone, I admit it.
Did you ever stop to think
of what people would say.
Come in.
Come in, Grandpa.
You know, the man who built this house cheated your father. The walls are thin as paper.
Oh, Grandpa.
Now. Esther, it's a funny thing. I took my tuxedo out of the mothballs only yesterday. Looked pretty good, too. That suit of mine does the greatest one step you ever saw.
Grandpa, are you...
Esther, what's this Judy says about your not going to the dance?
Who says I'm not going? Of course I'm going. With the handsomest man in town.
Madame, I'll pick you up at 8.
Esther, I'm here. I made it.
John!
Oh, gosh, Esther. I couldn't find Mr. Johnson until 20 minutes of 10. But he opened his shop, and, well, here I am.
Oh, John, so much has happened, and I'm so glad. If I'm crying, it's just because everything's turned out so simply divinely, and it's Christmas almost, and
Well, what's happened?
Well, don't you see them dancing, Rose and Warren Sheffield? Miss Ballard is a simply charming girl, even if she is an Easterner. She said, we're all grown up, aren't we? And since Warren all he talks about is Rose, my goodness, why doesn't he fill out her dance card?
Well, who's Lucille dancing with?
Well, Lonnie, of course. Oh, she's terribly fond of him. It's really so obvious, and now you're here. And, oh, John, I've never been so happy in my life.
Esther, could we go outside for a minute? I want to talk to you.
Of course, John, if you'd like.
I wouldn't have said it, Esther, if I thought it would make you cry again. Are you sure you're warm enough?
Oh, I've imagined you saying it thousands of times, and I'd always planned exactly how I'd act. I'd never planned to cry.
Well, at least you didn't laugh.
Laugh?
I guess I never asked a girl to marry me before. I guess maybe I was kind of...
Oh, John, no one could have done it more beautifully. I'm very proud.
Esther, will you? Will you, Esther?
Of course I will, John.
Oh, gosh. Do you realize I might have lost you? A few more days and you'd have been gone.
We might never have seen each other again.
And now we're engaged. Esther, let's go home and tell your folks right now.
Oh, no, not tonight. I'd rather just the two of us knew about it tonight.
No, we're not going to let them talk us out of it, are we? After all, we are of age. Well, practically.
John, even if I do go to New York, we could still work something out. Somehow. Couldn't we, John? Merry Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas, Esther.
Can I come in bed with you?
Of course, darling. Come on now, cover up.
You weren't asleep either, were you?
No, I've just been lying here thinking.
Was the dancing nice?
Wonderful.
I've been watching. The moon's so bright, but I haven't seen anything. Did he come?
Did who come?
Santa Claus.
Now, you know he's not going to come until you're asleep.
Then sing to me, Esther. Sing to me till I'm asleep.
What kind of a song, Tootie?
A Christmas song.
All right. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore, faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to us
more. Someday soon we all will be together if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Judy, you're still awake. I can't go to sleep. Oh, Esther, how will Santa Claus know where to find us next year? We'll be in New York.
Oh, you can't fool him. He can find anybody he wants to find.
If he brings me any toys, I'm taking them with me. I'm taking my dolls and the dead ones, too. I'm taking everything.
Of course you are. You won't have to leave anything behind. Except your snowman, of course.
My snowmen.
We'd look pretty silly trying to get them on the train, wouldn't we?
My snowmen.
Judy, come back.
My poor little snowmen. What is going to happen to them? Snowmen.
Judy, darling, it's all right. It's all right, darling.
What on earth happened, Esther? What was Tootie doing in the backyard?
She just ran into the backyard, Papa, and started to smash her snowman.
Nobody's going to have my snowmen. Not if we're moving to New York.
Now, don't cry, darling. You can build other snowmen in New York.
No, you can't. You can't do anything in New York like you can in St. Louis.
You're sure she'll be all right?
Yes, Papa. You go back to bed. I'll take care of her.
Well, good night, Esther.
Good night, Papa. Judy, darling, New York's a wonderful place. When you see the fine home we're going to have and the friends we're going to make. But the main thing, Tootie, is that we're all going to be together. Just like we've always been. That's what really counts. We could be happy anywhere, as long as we're together.
Anna, wake up. Rose, Grandpa, Lonnie, everybody get up.
Papa.
Esther, Tootie, come on, all of you. Come on downstairs.
Oh, Papa, what's wrong?
Everything's wrong. Anna, where are you? Grandpa, come downstairs with me. Get in here and sit down.
There's nothing to sit on, dear, except packing boxes.
Then come into the dining room. I've got a few words to say to this family.
Well, what in the world's the matter?
Well, we are not moving to New York.
Oh,
and I don't want to hear a word about it. We're going to stay right here in St. Louis till we rot.
We haven't rotted yet, Alonzo.
Oh, but what will you say to the firm, Papa, to Mr. Fenton?
But I've changed my mind. I'm a junior partner, not a puppet on a string. If they don't like it, well, that's just too bad.
But New York, Alonzo, you did think it was a fine opportunity, didn't you?
I was looking forward to going, yes. But after all these weeks, watching my family's hearts breaking, and then Tootie a little while ago. Well, New York hasn't got a copyright on opportunity. St. Louis is a great town. The trouble with you people is you don't appreciate it because it's right here under your noses. I'll take that. Hello!
Rose? Oh,
Do I sound like Rose?
Well, then get her to the phone. Wake her up or something.
No, just a minute, young man. Who do you think you're talking to?
Papa, please, let me take it. Hello?
Rose Smith, I haven't slept a wink since I took you home from the dance, and I won't go on like this any longer. We're going to get married, and I don't want to hear any arguments. Now, let's fight. Oh, I love you.
Warren, but Warren!
Anna, who is that boy? Do you know?
Alonzo, he's a very fine young man. Now, we'll talk about it later.
Oh, Rose, darling, you handle the whole thing magnificently. He's just putty in your hands.
I hope you'll be very happy, Rose. And sometime, if you can arrange it, I'd like to meet that young fellow.
Papa, Mama.
If Rose is going to get married, maybe we ought to open up her Christmas present.
You little faker. It's your presents you're after.
He's been here. Santa Claus.
Well, of course, in the living room.
Good heavens, it's Christmas morning. Merry Christmas. Oh, Papa, you've given us the nicest Christmas anybody could ask for. We're staying in St. Louis.
Good morning, Mr. Costello.
Morning, Tootie. Want to help me deliver ice today?
Today? Do you know what today is?
Sure do. First day of May, 1904.
It's Fair Day, Mr. Costello. Today's the day the World's Fair opens.
My family's going, and Papa says we're not going to leave till they throw us out.
Is that a fact? Well, gee up, Peter.
But don't you worry, Mr. Costello. I'll help you deliver ice tomorrow.
Oh, John, it's 8 o'clock. We promised to meet the family for dinner at the French Pavilion.
Oh, we'll be there, Esther. I just didn't want you to miss this.
Miss what, John?
The electric lights. Look, Yes, they're turning them on.
Oh!
Here they come.
Oh, it's just breathtaking. I never dreamed anything could be so beautiful. Imagine there's never been anything like this in the whole world.
That's right, Es. Nothing like this and no one like you. Just think of all the things we'll have to tell our kids someday.
I wonder if they'll believe it, John. I can hardly believe it myself. You and a World's Fair, right here where we live, right here in St. Louis.
Before our stars return to the microphone, I'd like to tell you about Mrs. Brown. The Browns had some friends in for dinner recently, and after they finished, Mrs. Green said,
"Let's do the dishes now, Mary. I'll give you a hand."
Oh, thanks. It really won't take long.
Optimist. But I always say you can talk just as well in the kitchen as anywhere. Want me to wash?
Oh, no, that's the easiest part.
Who do you think you're kidding? Look at these dishpan hands of mine.
Oh, I have luck.
You have? Where'd you get it?
Down at the corner. Some came in while I was there the other day.
Lucky. I haven't been able to get any lately.
Well, I guess you just struck it wrong. We're all so sick of those strong soaps that Lux goes like hotcakes.
The strong soaps bother your hands, too.
Do they? Why, mine look worse than yours. As soon as I switched to Lux, they started getting better.
Note that, Mrs. Green. Tests prove changing to Lux Flakes does just what Mrs. Brown says. It takes away that ugly dishpan redness. You'll begin to notice improvement in just a few days.
Another thing, you have to use so much of that strong soap to get suds.
I know. But you saw how little Lux Flakes I put in the dishpan. And look what rich suds they make.
Those richer suds will actually go further, Mrs. Green. Do you know that ounce for ounce, Lux does up to twice as many dishes as other leading soaps tested?
If I get my hands on a box of Lux Flakes, I'll go easy with it. I don't want to waste a spoonful.
Yes, Lux is precious, Mrs. Green. Too precious to be wasted. Of course, you're disappointed when you can't find Lux Flakes right off. We're making as much as we can, but there just isn't enough to satisfy all of our customers all the time. So please be patient and keep asking. When you do find Lux Flakes, you'll be delighted how soft and smooth they leave your hands in spite of dishwashing. Here's Mr. Keeley at the microphone.
Now that you've met them in St. Louis, we invite you to meet them here as they are in real life. Tonight's delightful stars, Judy Garland, Margaret O'Brien, and Tom Drake. Judy, we enjoyed both your singing and your acting.
Well, Bill, tonight's play certainly puts one in the mood for Christmas.
You know, Christmas is only 23 days away.
That's close figuring, Margaret.
And, Judy, this will be the first Christmas for the newest member of your family.
Have you brought the baby any presents yet, Judy?
Well, I haven't done much shopping yet, Margaret.
No, Judy's been pretty busy. It was just recently she finished her latest Metro Goldwyn Mayer Technicolor picture, Till the Clouds Roll By.
Well, Margaret's been pretty busy, too. She's been appointed National Junior Chairman of the Infantile Paralysis Fund.
Just 3 weeks and 48 hours until Christmas.
And during the Christmas holidays, Margaret, you'll have to see Tom Drake's new MGM picture, Courage of Lassie.
No, as a matter of fact, Margaret has one of Lassie's puppies.
Is that right, Margaret?
Yes, I named him Laddie. But just only 18 shopping days until Christmas.
That's right, Margaret. And we've been doing some shopping on the play for next week.
What are you presenting next week, Bill?
2 brilliant stars who rank among our greatest favorites, Irene Dunn and Walter Pidgeon. They appeared in one of the screen's most entertaining comedies, Columbia Pictures' recent hit, Together Again. It's the fresh, delightful story of a woman torn between love and her career as a small-town mayor. A play I'm sure our audience will love.
Well, Irene Dunn and Walter Pidgeon make a great team, Mr. Keeley.
Just 23 days away.
Remember, too, the days are getting shorter, Margaret.
Gee, that
makes things even better.
Good night and best holiday wishes to you all. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday evening when the Lux Radio Theater presents Irene Dunn and Walter Pidgeon in Together Again. This is William Keighley saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Judy Garland, Margaret O'Brien, and Tom Drake appeared by arrangement with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of Secret Heart. Heard in our cast tonight were Gail Gordon as Alonzo, Colleen Gray as Rose, Regina Wallace as Mrs. Smith, Norman Field as Grandpa, and Billy Roy, Noreen Gamil, Dick Ryan, Clark Gordon,